obligated to start there. Can you sort of take us through maybe the play-by-play that resulted in that dunk?
I knew that the last time I tried to get a breakaway layup against them, it was denied, I guess. It was easily. They have a lot of length. They block a lot of shots. So when you go to the rim against them, you got to make sure you get to the rim. So I had that in my mind. I knew last time it was Tyrese actually threw me the ball last time too. So I had to make him look good this time. I know last time he was a little upset. I messed up his assist. But I just made sure that I got to the rim. And they were making a run. We were just trying to slow down their run, stop the bleeding, and make sure we kept scoring. So I had to make sure I got an easy 2.
Yeah, but besides that, what was the key to sort of squashing their run when they were making that little bit of a push?
I was just trying to continue to score. Obviously, keep them off the offensive glass. That's how they got back in it. They were obviously making some tough shots as well, but Boucher was a big factor in getting tip-ins, put-back dunks, second chances, Birch, all those guys. We keep them off the glass. It'll give us a better chance at be able to get out of the end and score for us.
Joel, what did you think of Danny's dunk?
We were all joking in the locker room saying that he better get ready for the drug test tomorrow. So that definitely.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Like, I don't be dunking all the time.
I mean, when's the last time you dunked a basketball?
It's been a while, but
okay. So yeah, so they're gonna drug test him tomorrow.
Well, they try to get on the start very physical and trying to set the audience tone, but you responded and said we're going to have dinner today. Just look at you guys, how you kind of fought through that and just kind of took over. At that point, showed them how it was done.
Well, going into the game, I knew what their strategy was. Especially listening to everything I was said. So from the get-go, I didn't really want them to set that tone. I wanted myself and us to set that tone. That's why I picked up that first early technical foul because I felt like there was a missed call on the other end, and on defense I just want to make sure that the refs just let us know how physical they wanted the game to be. So that's why I went ahead and we started pushing each other, and we both got techs. But I knew that was the game plan. I knew that was going to be the adjustment, but I wanted to make sure I was the first one to bring the physicality.
Whoa. One at a time.
He's a great coach, obviously. I got what he's been able to accomplish, and I've always been a big fan. But I told him respectfully, told him to stop bitching about calls because I saw what he said last game. If you're going triple team somebody all game, they're bound to get to the free throw line, or if you're going to push them off and trying to hold them off and all that stuff, they're bound to get to the free throw line. So I feel like every fouls were legit and probably should have been more, honestly.
Joel, how do you feel you guys responded as a team, not just yourself, to their physicality, and what does that say about the composition of this team?
We responded pretty well. You look at the start. They got on us early. We didn't panic. We just came back and we did what worked in the first game. We just kept attacking. Getting into the paint. Making plays for each other, getting to the free throw line, and then defensively just being more, as physical as we were the first game. Obviously tonight we didn't take care of the ball, me personally, so we got to do a better job. And then obviously offensive rebounding, we gave them a few chances.
But Joel, Nick isn't the first coach to say something about you getting fouled. It's his third time. They didn't say it exactly the same way he did, but it's his third time.
I feel like, all this, like I said, I got a lot of respect for all these coaches, but, I feel like they have self-awareness, but, when they say this type of stuff, it's just for whether the referees to not call it anymore, or just to also like motivate their guys to go out there and play better, and hope that really put that in the referee's hands to not call it. But when the fouls are as obvious as they were tonight, I mean, they put me on the floor a few times. And to me, this is why it gets interesting for me because I'm like, well, cool. I'm gonna come back with more power. I think that's part of the reason why I got a few offensive fouls tonight too, because I was like, well, if you're gonna be physical, I'm gonna come back with more power and make you foul me and make it more obvious if the refs don't want to call it. So I think it's all about having self-awareness, and I think they just do it because they have to, but they don't actually believe in it. That really, if you watch the clips, every single foul is a foul.
So to that point, Joel, it seemed like in the first quarter in particular, you were pretty emotional, pretty aggressive going to the rim, going through contact. Was that part of what you were talking about in terms of trying to set the tone and try to make sure you were getting the calls and the game was going the way you thought it should?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, you listen to everything I was said after the game. Referees and the league, they're the same way. They're gonna come in and the next game they're gonna let stuff go. So they're not gonna call self fouls. So in that case, you gotta be more aggressive. You gotta go to the rim with more power. You gotta jump over people. You gotta try to finish through contact because that's an adjustment. Whether it's the refs coming in and them complaining. I've been doing this for quite a while to know that that's usually the adjustment, and in that case, that's where I become more physical.
And how big has Tobias been for you guys over the first two games?
Tobias has been huge. He's been great for us. He's been playing free. He's playing confident. We're going to need him to continue to do that. Obviously, Tyrese as well, James. We're moving the ball, making the right plays, and Joel's playing an amazing floor game. Obviously, if he's getting to the free throw line, a lot of times they're double and triple teams, so he's finding guys and giving himself up for the team offensively. We don't know what adjustments are going to make in Game 3, but like I said, we know they're complaining about the fouls, so there's going to be a wave of change in that probably. It's going to be tough to be in their building. We've got to make some shots there, but we got to stop them. But we know that the whistle may not be in our favor for a couple games over there. Either way, we got to play basketball, fight through it, and impose our will, like Joe did early on. He let it be known that we're not going to take the bullying, we're not going to take the BS, and it was a big play. Him just making a stand and just getting physical out there and letting him know we're not going to be punked out here, and him just being emotional offensively and enforcing his will and making them call the fouls and making them foul him is what we're going to need, especially in their building. So we need Tobias to continue up his energy. We're going to need Tobias to continue to play free and knocking down his shot. He's playing extremely well and confident. I love where his head's I love where the space he's in right now. So I want to continue to do that.
He's had a tough defensive assignment the first couple games with Siakam. What do you think?
And I think him and Tyrese have been great on that end of the floor. And people are speaking on how well that Tyrese is playing offensively and Tobias is playing offensively. Their defense is where it surprises me more than anything. Is what I love to see. Tyrese taking the challenge of guarding Fred VanVleet, who's an all-star. Tobias guarding Pascal, who was an all-star at one point. The guys are playing extremely well. OG, who are playing extremely well. Those guys are switching out, and even Tobias guarding Fred VanVleet. So for him to move his feet and take on those challenges and play defense the way we need him to, and then box out and get rebounds, that's the biggest key for them. Keep them off the glass, because a lot of times, they shoot and fetch. They're shooting to get offensive glass and try to get us in foul trouble, but also just get to the free throw line and also get easy baskets at the rim. So those guys have stepped it up a huge amount defensively for us, and we need to continue that.
Well, just that there's that second quarter stretch now where you're getting your rest when James and Tyrese are on the floor at the same time, and Doc's talked a lot about how much he likes that pairing. What have you seen from that group, and how much of a relief is it almost that those guys come in and sort of hold it down and have even extended the lead before you've come back in before halftime?
They've just been doing a great job of, just playing with pace and, looking for matchups, favorable matchups, who to attack, just playing the game, with each other, whether it's Tyrese attacking or, James going one-on-one with a favorable matchup and finding guys that way too. I think it's been great. That's what we're going to need, all series and, for the future too.
How does your physical presence make it easier for the rest of the guys on your team, especially Tobias and James and Tyrese?
What was the question?
The question was, how much does your physical presence makes it easier for those guys to score, to get them to have open shots?
I mean, that's probably a question for them, but I think
It makes it a lot easier. Him and James, when they're attacking the basket or putting the pressure on the paint, especially him, sealing and drawing 2 and 3 guys to us. I'm getting great open looks. Made a few tonight. Hopefully, get more of a rhythm, build and make some more in Toronto, as well as everybody else. We shot pretty well tonight. We shot, I think, 50 last game. Shot 46 from 3 tonight. If we continue to shoot that well, it'll be easier series for us and easier for him. Hopefully, open the floor for him, and maybe they'll stop double team. But it's been a huge plus for us.
Is your elbow all right?
oh,
It looked like Matisse ran into your elbow in the third quarter, and you were flexing it a bunch after
no,
that.
it was Pascal. It's all right. I'll see how I feel tomorrow.
What happened with the foot to
I think I twisted it again, like twice. So just gotta ice it and get treatment, I guess.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tyrese, what happened on that ball?
I hit my funny bone, and then arm was just dangling. It was like that, but I'll be okay. That's what they told me. That's
You
it.
seemed to recover. What was the level of physicality out there tonight compared to game 1?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna get even more physical as the games go on. A team that's seen each other. I don't know how many times. How many games this is for us. Yeah, so we keep seeing them over and over and over and over again, and both teams really want to win. So it's gonna be physical out there, and just 2 teams grinding.
Tyrese, after the other night, it feels like this city has really embraced you. They've embraced you the whole time, but you were the loudest ovation that in pregame warm-ups all game. When you went down, the level of concern, your jersey is selling like hotcakes. What does that make you feel like?
And I just appreciate it. I appreciate it. It means that we're winning. It means that we're doing a good job as a team, and we're just gonna keep trying to do that, keep winning games, and make people happy.
Minutes that you and James played together in the second quarter when Joel's on the bench and kind of the pick and roll action you guys can do together. Just how have you sort of seen that develop pretty quickly, and just what do you feel like that can give your offense overall?
Yeah, it's tough. You got 2 guards. Either I'm coming off or he's coming off. You got to make a decision. If you want to switch, most of the time they don't want to get off James' body and give him any space. So if they don't, I'm getting downhill. If they switch and he has a matchup or I have a matchup. So we just try to get downhill, make plays for ourselves, and make plays for others as well.
Danny, did you know that Danny could dunk like that?
We played Toronto at Toronto a couple weeks ago, and I threw him almost identical pass, and Boucher blocked it. I said, Danny, you just got to try to dunk it. And he said, I got you in the playoffs. So he dunked it today.
Can you describe your collective reaction to what you saw?
I think we all just started praying that he was okay. We're gonna really need him, and he needs to get an ice bath today. So.
Tyrese, when Toronto was kind of making their run in that fourth quarter, there was the sequence where there was the loose ball, you picked it up, hit a 3. Can you just sort of take us through that? Because that sort of pushed you guys back on the right path, I guess.
Yeah, I thought Tobias was going to pick it up, and I guess he thought I was going to pick it up. So, and then Van Vliet or somebody dove on it. Luckily, just a good bounce. I picked it up, and I had space to shoot. And like you said, we needed an energized and momentum builder, and I just tried to make a shot and make a play for our team.
Compared to 2 or 3 weeks ago, playing with James, is the chemistry a lot better now? Can you talk about that, the way it's evolved?
Yeah, it was extremely tough because it was a trade during the middle of the year. Then we had an All-Star break, and then we came back and we had to play. And the schedule was unfavorable for our practice schedule, so we didn't really get any good practices in to where we could figure out space and figure out continuity with James. So that week that we just had before the playoffs started was huge for us. I think we got to do a lot of different lineups, figure out a lot of different spacing, and get the plays in, and the chemistry went up.
Describe the level of confidence this team's playing with right now.
I think the main confidence that we're playing with is defensively. We knew coming into this series that we were going to be putting a lot of tough one-on-one situations, tough one-on-one matchups, and we're trying to guard our yard. That's the main thing that we're trying to do. And then we know we got help behind us. We got our brothers in the gaps, and we're just really trying to get defensive rebounds. Yeah, everybody's hitting the glass. Everybody's trying to get boards, and then we're out to the races.
Speaking of defense, Tyrese, what are you seeing from Tobias, just from last year to this year on the defensive end, the improvements he's been continuing to make?
Yeah, like I said, he's taking the matchup personally, and that's a good thing. And he's on the island up there sometimes with Siakam, and he's holding his own, and I'm proud of him. He has to keep doing the same thing.
Doc said he was pretty sure you've never set a screen before in a game. Is that true?
I mean, let me think. I honestly don't remember setting screens, you know what I mean? But I came here and I was setting, step-ups for Joel Embiid, earlier in the year, and I was like, this is crazy. But, I mean, whatever they need me to do, that's what I'm going to go out there and do. Step up for Joel, step up for Tobias, step up for James, and, it just creates matchup problems.
The chemistry you talked about in terms of you guys scoring, it's led to you guys in these first 2 games, at least 4 of you get into double figures or score more than 20 points. How much did all that practice during that first week before the playoffs help you guys kind of get to the point to where any of y'all can score and go off at any time?
Yeah, it helped tremendously because, honestly, it's extremely hard because James and Paul Millsap and DJ, when they came in, like I said, there was no real practice time to where we could actually go live and practice and get the spacing right and get guys where they need to be successful. So getting that continuity right and getting the chemistry right and that week of practice going hard against each other was extremely important.
Joel scoring 19 points in the first quarter, but also he was really forceful when Toronto was being a little bit chippy, I guess you could say. Just how big was that for you guys? How much did he set the tone in that regard?
Huge. He said it immediately. He felt like he got fouled, and then he started being extremely aggressive. And that's what we need from the big fella. He's 7 foot. He's intimidating, honestly. And when he's coming out like that, aggressive, and like you said, setting the tone, it's hard to stop him. And then you got a double and triple team that just creates open shots for the rest of our team. And honestly, him on the defensive end tonight, I don't know how many blocks he had, but everything he was challenging at the rim was amazing. And, he really helped us tonight.
Tyrese, you've told us a bunch of times that you were taught that the work you put in when nobody's watching pays off in front of thousands. How much does that mentality sink in when you hit a 3 like you did when the team was getting in a little bit of trouble and you stepped up and you were the one to create the separation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep that mindset with me, throughout my entire career and throughout my entire life, honestly. I always tell people, when people ask for advice, the only advice I can give them is work extremely hard at whatever you want to be great at. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, lawyer, reporter, work extremely hard at your job and, you'll probably see success. And I think that's what I try to do.
Tobias, early on they tried to get physical at you guys, but just think about the way you kind of fought through all that and just kept your composure of the team.
Yeah, I mean, from the jump of the game, they get out there 11-2. So, they had the momentum, physicality as well. But we just settled into the game. I mean, we came to the timeout and said, we got to get stops. We got to be more physical as well. And once we made that adjustment, we were able to pretty much free flow through the rest of the game. Got to the free throw line, slowed the game down a little bit, and really got the looks that we wanted to get and got some stops. So we knew that was expected, that they were going to come out and be more physical after the first game. But we did a good job just going right back at that.
You've had a tough defensive matchup in Pascal Siakam. Just what's kind of led to just your success in slowing him down a little bit?
Just making his looks hard. I mean, he's a tough matchup just with his size, but I try to use my quickness laterally and my strength to be able to make him make second moves out there. Just really reading some of the things that he wants to do, and make every look that he gets a tough look. I mean, with a player like that, they run a lot of sets through him, and he's a good player getting downhill as well. So just trying to beat him to the spot and make him take tough twos.
In the second quarter when Joel comes off the floor and James and Tyrese are on the floor at the same time, that's been really effective for you guys in both of these games. Just how have you seen that pairing? You're on the floor at that point too. Like how has that grouping and that pairing sort of evolved quickly to create a good buffer from when Joel's off the floor?
Yeah, we're still trying to really figure out lineups as well that work together. But when we had that group out there, we ran a lot of 1-2 pick and rolls. because they were front James pretty much in the middle of the court. So, we just try to pick out a matchup right there and kind of exploit it. So Tyrese was able to get downhill. James was able to get downhill and just create other shots for other guys as well. But really, in that lineup, we got a lot of stops to get out in transition. And with that group, Tyrese, the way that he's so fast in the open court, we was able to really get out there and get some good, efficient shots. So, it's kind of, we're still figuring out game by game, but that was a good highlight of tonight, that second group out there.
Tobias, when you talk about the confidence that this group is playing with right now, just being up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, we're playing with a good confidence. I mean, obviously it's 2 games. But, I just think as a whole, we came in the first game. We executed. Tonight we executed. We had a little slippage, fourth quarter. But, overall, I think we're really sticking to the game plan. The coaches have put a great game plan in front of us to allow us to be successful. Obviously, it's the playoffs, and game by game there's going to be different adjustments. But overall, we're doing a good job of executing what is that task for us.
When Doc was up here just now, he was hopefully saying what Kyle was about to say. He was talking about the fact that you've had to make more changes than anybody else on this team, and that he appreciates the example that spirit shows to the other guys throughout the season. What are your impressions of those comments?
Man, that's a nice comment from Doc. I think I'm going to buy him a box of Crumble tomorrow, just for that. It's a good, just to get that compliment. I've had to make some adjustments, but, I think, having a coach like that, I think the biggest adjustment for me is when we actually sat down and talked and, just had a real conversation. And he told me what he envisions me of doing and how I can do it at a very high level to help the group. And, from there, I just was basically at peace with that and kind of never looked back from that time. So I think, with all that, I understand keeping a group, as a whole together, making sure everybody is in the right spirit and mind is big for us as a team, especially, towards this run that we're trying to do. So I have to be that person as well that has my attitude and my stature of the group in the right place as well. So I just think all those things come together and then just figuring it out. I think that was the biggest thing from the team the whole year is figuring out ways that we can be successful. So, those things it's what this game is about. It's what life is about, adjusting and adapting.
In that vein, you've looked really decisive and kind of seamless on your catching and shooting, and really anytime you're getting the ball off the pass. Was that part of it?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, this is, I would say, I talked on it before. This is the first time in my career that, catch and shoot was an emphasis for me, whereas, in past years prior, it's more I catch the ball, isolate, wait, hold. So it was just evaluating how to be more efficient in the role. And, that was a big emphasis from the All-Star break was catching that ball and shooting it quick. And for me, that was an adjustment, but, it's a lot of extra hours in the gym and hard work of adjusting to it and being able to let it fly. And, for me, I'm in a great rhythm, great groove right now, and I just look to continue that success.
Tobias, I did have a different question.
There you go. You got it.
Doc said that since he's been coaching you, this is the best defensive stretch he's seen you have. You've had assignments ranging from DeRozan, Karl-Anthony Towns, Siakam tonight. I guess, what has been the key to you having this sort of run as a defender?
First, just knowing the opponent and knowing some of the qualities that and the tendencies that they have on the floor of what they want. And then, for me, it's just embracing the challenge. I mean, when I came in the league, that was the biggest knock on me that I couldn't play defense. And, as the years have gone on, I worked on my lateral quickness and my body to be able to be healthy, to slide, and, to be better laterally. So anytime I'm on the floor and have that opportunity to embrace, going up and challenge somebody and making their life hard out there. I try to take advantage of it. So it's for me, it's special to kind of have people looking at me now as a defender. And I embrace that. And I think for us as a team, to make this run, the guys that we'll play against, there's a lot of forwards. That it's an important position in the NBA, so just being able to stop them is going to be important. So I embrace that full challenge there. But it's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point as well, to be able to go out there and actually try to stop somebody.
You think it's helped that you've had, James has taken so much responsibility, Tyrese has grown into his role, you have Joel, obviously. The fact that you now have all this offensive firepower that maybe you can focus more energy on that end of the floor. Yeah,
I mean, I definitely have more energy to go out and guard somebody and, kind of pick them up and, exploit my energy on that end. And I think, when James came here in the trade early on, first couple games, I think we were playing Chicago, and I just said, to have a full impact on this team, you may not get the same amount of shots, but you can make a bigger impact on the defensive end. And I kind of just embraced that challenge since then, versus all the guys that we have played against that I was matched up against. So, just trying to figure out different ways to be impactful for the group and help us play winning basketball.
Tobias, what was your reaction to Danny's dunk?
Yo, that was crazy. Cause Danny, he never dunk. And I was really shocked because I thought he was gonna pass me the ball in the corner, and then he went up there, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "Oh shh!" That was tough though. Danny, he going, that's Sports Center. What y'all think? They still do top 10? Yeah, that's number one. There.